Hello YouTube, this is Claire. I'm transgender, which is hopefully why you're watching this. Today I just wanted to talk about the importance of support groups and what they have helped me with. Anyway, I guess before I started going to the support group, I had told one of my friends I had been seeing a counselor, and then I got in touch with a gender psychologist. And this was like over a year ago. And so then what happened is I hear yelling in the background this morning, mate. So I went to the gender psychologist lady, and she was cool. But then she was like, "Hey, we have this meeting right after. It's like an hour after my appointment with you, and." It's really great. A bunch of trans people come and talk about trans issues and stuff like that. You can bring up points and that you want discussed. And it's mostly people that were my age, like college students, because Missoula is a kind of a bit of a college town. And so I decided to go to that, and I'm so glad I did. And it's the Montana Gender Alliance, and it's a great group. And it's a peer-run, peer-facilitated support group, or whatever, and it's really fun. Like it just gave me a lot of support, being able to talk to people who are going through the same thing as I am, or maybe they're a little bit further. A lot of them are further along, or were further along when I first went there, and like it was great seeing how happy they were, and just like how well their transition was going, and it gave me a lot of hope for my transition, because this was before I started hormones and everything. And it was just, it filled this amazing, it like made me feel so much better to go there, where they're like, hey, when I first got there, they're like, hey, we'll call you by whatever name you want, whatever pronouns you want to use. And I mean, that's great. I was excited for that, and for the first few meetings, I didn't dress up, and I didn't go by my female name. I just went there to kind of observe and kind of get the gist of the place. But then I started going, dressing up, and everyone would call me Claire, and it was really great. Like it did a lot for me and my self-esteem to have at least one part, even if it's like, a couple hours every couple weeks, where just everyone just kind of loves and respects me for who I am and treats me amazing. I mean, my friends, not to say that my friends aren't supportive. I mean, they're wonderfully supportive, but it's just not the same environment, because, it's like, they said, well, if you want to be called Claire, we'll call you Claire, but I don't know, it's like, I'm not out full time, so I feel like it'd be weird to do that. So currently I'm not having them call me that. So it's really nice to go to a place where, I mean, shit, it's been a year since I've been going, and they're like my family. I mean, it's amazing. I've got tons of good friends there, and they all just treat me so nicely, and some of them that I have met me more recently than when I first started, they're like, I can't even imagine you in guys' clothes, and I was like, really? I can. And even like there's this family that I met through there, and they come as a family to the groups, because their daughter, who's 12, is transitioning right now, which is pretty crazy, but awesome. Like, I wish I had done that. Wish I had known what was going on back then. And it just actually started Lupron injections the other day, and those are a really potent anti-androgen. She just needs a shot every like 3 months or something like that. Although it's really expensive, like $1,800 a shot. Ridiculous. But I'm glad that her parents can afford that and do that for her, because it'll help a lot, since she's kind of getting her puberty arrested, and it won't go any farther. And so that's wonderful, and they've kind of like adopted me. Like pretty much whenever I go to these meetings, I always stay with them after the meeting, because it's it's like a 2-hour drive from Butte to Missoula, and I, you know, I usually leave the meetings at 9, and, you know, depending on the season, it's like super dark, sometimes it's snowy or rainy. So it's nice to have a place to stay, and I mean they treat me like I'm their daughter, and it's so awesome. Just they always call me Claire, and it's always she, and it's just amazing because I don't get that anywhere else. Not really. I mean, I could probably ask for it from my friends, but it doesn't feel right yet. Just because normally when they see me, I'm not Claire, and so I don't know. It's really nice to, you know, have that that place where I go, and I just feel like I fit in, and it's really wonderful. I feel really lucky that I have kind of that a family to go to, and I'm kind of tearing up a little bit over here, so don't mind me. But you know, it's just so wonderful, and they're so kind to me, and I know I have a lot of problems with like transitioning and just my fears of how the future's gonna be, and I don't think I passed very well, and they're always so supportive of me. And so I just love going over there pretty much every chance I get. But yeah, anyway, the support, I think they're really important. So, you know, you should look for them if you're starting out in your transition, or even if you've been transitioned for a while. I mean, there was one guy who came in, he was a trans man, and he was like probably 45 or so. He had transitioned like 7 years ago and had like a bunch of surgeries. I mean, he looked great. He was like just like this bald older guy, and it was really funny. Like when he first came in, I was like, "Who's this guy? He doesn't look trans." But anyway, you know, regardless of where you are, like I think support groups are amazing. It just gives you a place to talk about the troubles you're going through, talk about life, and everyone there is always so supportive and wonderful. So you should definitely all get to one if you can. Like I mean, I drive 2 hours to go to it there, and then another 2 hours back, and I know that that's not possible for some people. If you don't have the sort of support group, you know, in the town you live in, you might not be able to afford to drive like that, and I mean, who knows, maybe you can find a bus or a carpool. I mean, I think it's just an amazing thing. I mean, we've got a P flag here in Butte, but it's, I don't know, there's 2 trans girls in it, including me, and, you know, everyone else is, you know, gay or whatever. Gay and lesbians, and, you know, it's a nice, cool meeting, but it's only like once a month, and there's a lot of older people that go to that, and not so many of the people my age. And what I love about the Montana Gender Alliance is it's like 80%, maybe not quite that high, 70% people that are in college, and so it's really nice seeing all these people that are going through it at the same time you are, at the same age you are. And, you know, there's always a smattering of younger and older people too, but I mean, it's really good to have that support, and they can give you things that your cisgendered friends just can't, because they can't, while they can empathize, or sympathize, I forget what the difference is right now, you know, they're not living it, and it's not really possible for them to fully understand it, because, you know, they're cisgendered. I don't know. And while they're great too, and I love my friends, and they're awesome, it's just, it's really nice to have these meetings. Anyway, I'm gonna end that before I get more weepy, and I'm gonna make another video here in a moment, though, after I go dry my eyes. I hope y'all enjoy it. Sorry about the over-emotional bit.